Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gridiron 2025. Ron Poniewasz, joined as always by Mr. Larry Kelly, member of the Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George law firm, also our sponsor of the show. He is a assistant baseball coach at Penn State Shenango, former varsity baseball coach at Shenango High School, currently a assistant basketball coach under Ralph Blundo at Newcastle High School, which will be starting real soon as we get ready to flip the calendar from October to November. And we can't forget our friends at Holy Redeemer.
That's right. I may not, after the rant that I went off on Penn State in our Good Guy, Bad Guy sports segment last week, which I suggest everybody should watch, I may no longer be a Penn State coach because I don't think they should have fired James Franklin. But that's a topic that we discuss in Good Guy, Bad Guy sports. And of course, the good guy, of course, is me because I'm a nice guy. You, Ronnie, not so much, but that's all right. You play that role well.
That's right.
Let's talk about Luca Santini, another good guy who suggested in your column, or in, I think maybe Cody's column, that he didn't want to name any names, but people were doubting the Laurel Spartans. I don't think he was talking about you and I. Nobody has given that team more praise than you and I, and it's well-deserved. Tell us about Luca Santini and what he did last week.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we'll talk about Athlete of the Week, and he is our Athlete of the Week, and then that'll be followed up by the Red Hurricane Minute, which Larry will take control of. And our This and That segment, we will tell you about where the playoff situation stands, and then we'll close up the night with our Week 10 schedule. But as Larry Kelly mentioned, Luca Santini is our Athlete of the Week. And Larry, before I tell you about his numbers, you were touching on it a little bit about how he called people out. One person he can't call out because a few weeks ago, and I'll own this, I said Laurel's going to run the table. They only lost one game. I said Neshannock's going to run the table. They lost one game. So I was technically wrong, officially wrong on that. Neither team ran the table. However, I was right. This game, the last game of the year, is going to come down to who wins the conference championship. So I saw that several weeks ago. So I know for a fact he's not talking about me, and I don't think he's talking about you either, Larry.
No, we gave them a lot of praise throughout the year. We've been on, I don't know. Tell my man Luca, if he's going to call somebody out, he got to name names, man. He can't just throw it out there and let it go.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a season passing. On Friday night, a senior, 5'11", 164-pound quarterback, defensive back. Luca was 6 of 11 passing for 153 yards, 3 touchdowns on passes of 29, 40, and 26 yards. 0 interceptions also. He had 3 carries for 22 yards, and that came in a 45-7 win over Southside Beaver. And this wasn't just a win against a run-of-the-mill team. Southside Beaver came in there undefeated in conference play, matching up with Laurel, which is undefeated in conference play still. And Southside is now 7-2. So they manhandled Southside on Friday.
It was a very emphatic victory. And as he's been all year, Luca, he's been the man, he and Colton Carlson for the Laurel Spartans. Luca has 35 touchdown passes in his career. He set the school record, 35 touchdown passes in high school. And has he been a 4-year starter or 3-year starter? I don't know that, Ronnie. Maybe you do. But to throw 35 touchdown passes in a career and he's not done, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, at least a 2-year starter, maybe a 3-year starter, certainly. But, yeah, he has played very well when he's been under center for Brian Cooper's Laurel Spartans team. That's for sure. And it shows that they're winning games. It's not just him putting up numbers and losing efforts. They're winning football games too.
This was an impressive win. I picked Laurel to win the game, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't see 45-7, especially after the performance Southside Beaver had against Neshannock. Right. As I recall, they beat them pretty handily. I mean, they might have put up 50 points, as I recall. So, Laurel's the real deal. And Luca Santini and his running mate, Colton Carlson, man, that they're quite a duo, both on the ground, in the air. And in reading the column, it looked like Colton Carlson almost threw a 45-yard TD pass. So These young men do everything. That's going to be a great game Friday night. That's going to be a great football game. Can't wait to watch that one.
That's right. And that is our athlete of the week, Luca Santini, for his quality performance. What a performance it was against Southside Beaver. Again, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns, aerials of 29, 40, and 26 through the air, 0 interceptions. As Larry mentioned, he's now got 35 career touchdown passes. And boy, I tell you what, that is some phenomenal career when you think about it. And especially how the evolution of the game, has moved on in terms of passing. We've went from years ago, it used to be a running type of game. Now it's passing.
Well, you still got to run the ball. And in that game, Laurel ran the ball for 238 yards, held Southside Beaver to 121. And Southside has a pretty good running game. Mm-hmm. But, I used to cover Laurel football years and years ago, and they were known to run the football. They weren't known as a passing team. And but yet they put up 153 yards through the air. They're really balanced. It's going to make them very difficult to defend come playoff time. And but again, you got to control the line of scrimmage, and they did. 238 to 121, and that's why they won the game, and that's why they won it handily.
Absolutely. Athlete of the week, Luca Santini, Laurel High School, 45-7 win over Southside Beaver last week. Come on back because we have the Red Hurricane Minute, which Larry will tell you all about. We'll do that next right here on Gridiron.
Here, Luca Santini. Luca is our athlete of the week for Laurel High. He had a great game against Southside Beaver. 45-7 to top them. Take that chair and be top on the Big 7 conference. What can you say about that decisive win first?
Me and my guys, we showed out, and we really brought the energy from the first snap, and we showed out.
What can you say just about your defense, making your life a little bit easier there?
It seemed like every one of their rushing yards came from a trick play, so I thought the game plan was nice, and it really worked.
There's one thing I learned growing up around here. People should look out for each other, be friends and neighbors that you can count on. So it bothers me when people who are hurt in automobile accidents get bullied by the insurance company. I don't let bullies run over my clients. I do what I was taught growing up. Step up, stand up, and speak up for those who can't. I'm Larry Kelly, and I'm a Newcastle guy.
Okay, we're back with you here on Gridiron. This is our Red Hurricane Minute, or as I like to call it, the Red Hurricane Half Hour. Larry Kelly, it's all you.
Well, all I got to say about the Red Hurricane Friday night in their win against Ambridge, in their 56-7 win against Ambridge, is that 275 to 14. They ran the ball for 275 yards and held the opponent to 14. It's all about the line of scrimmage, Ronnie. As you recall, the week before against West Day, they got outrushed 3-1. Here, they dominated the line of scrimmage. Hence, they dominated the game. Marino Graham accounted for 5 touchdowns. Again, this young man, week in and week out, he's only getting better. And he's a force to be reckoned with. But the bottom line is when you're moving forward and you're getting into tougher competition, you got to be able to run the ball, which the Hurricane did well, and you got to be able to stop the run, which they smothered the running game of Ambridge. They'll have to do the same thing against Blackhawk this week, which I expect they'll do. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that Newcastle High School, their football team, is going into a game not hoping to win, expecting to win. And that's where they're at now. That's been the case with Newcastle basketball for the entire 15 years that I've been there with Coach Palumbo. We go into every game expecting to win, and there's a difference. Hoping to win, well, expecting to win, life's a self-fulfilling prophecy. A couple other things. We found a kicker, Ronnie. The young man, according to what I'm looking at, and again, we got to get his name correct. I hate to mispronounce people's name. It looks like, I know his first name's Chase Comodorin. Maybe is the way we pronounce his last name. I'm gonna task you in talking to Coach Mazzocco on how we say this young man's last name, because according to what I'm seeing here, he kicked the first 3 extra points of the game. And, look, it looks like he might have been 3 for 3. So When you get to one-score games in playoffs, that's important. The only downer for the Hurricane, 7 penalties, 68 yards. Again, just a few too many. I don't know what kind of penalties they were, but you can't do that. We did lose one fumble. Turnovers are always a big deal. It looks like there was one pass intercepted. You don't want to turn the ball over because these games are going to start after Blackhawk. These games are going to start getting close. When you get to the playoffs, and it looks like Newcastle may have a home game in the playoff. Aliquippa lost to Montour last week, and now Montour plays West Allegheny this week. So, Newcastle is either going to be solely in first place or share first place with one of those teams. So it looks like we're going to get a home game. So good win, expected win, back on track. Take care of Blackhawk this week, and let's play some playoff football. It's been a long time since I said that about Newcastle High School's football program.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Newcastle did not host a playoff game, and I would be shocked if Newcastle does not get a favorable seed. I fully expect them to beat Blackhawk on Friday night, and that should secure a home playoff game and should also secure a high playoff seed as well, which would be to their benefit, especially in Class 4A. But how do I get the task of asking how to pronounce the kicker's name when you're good buddies with Coach Mangino? Does he not know how to?
He's lucky he knows the first names of these players. But I'm going to find out. I'll talk to Coach Belundo or Coach Mazalka because, again, just looking, I misstated. It looks like he might have kicked 5 extra points. It looks like he might have been 5-1. He was good after the first touchdown, good after the second. They said an unidentified player, you probably just didn't have the stats, made the third kick. I'm assuming it's him. And then there was one kick that failed, and he kicked 2 more. So you kicked 5 out of 6, Chase. You're doing your job. I asked Coach Mangino where you found him. He said in the parking lot. So, Coach Matt Mangino's a wise guy. But I will find out how to pronounce it, making sure we do it right, because this guy's going to be important come playoff time.
Yeah, absolutely. That coupled with behaving yourself in terms of penalties, that's going to be rough. You can't have 7 penalties in a playoff game because penalties, turnovers, and missed conversions are any form of a recipe for an elimination.
You just can't beat yourself.
Right.
And, again, Newcastle was explosive. Kai Cox caught a 44-yard touchdown pass. They got Damian Harrison involved. Damian's a hooper. He can jump out of the gym. He caught a 9-yard touchdown pass from Marino. So, look, they're explosive. When they get it done at the line of scrimmage, good stuff happens. They got a chance. They really, really do, man. Is the 4A championship game at Acrisure Stadium this year? If you know.
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah,
I want to be there, man. I want to be there. So, anyway, that's my Red Hurricane Minute.
Yeah, getting back to Newcastle, obviously, Larry. You have a team that is a young team like Newcastle is, very young.
Yeah.
We don't know the playoff brackets yet. We don't know who they're going to play. So what if they play a team that is used to going to the playoffs and has playoff leadership and that experience? You've coached Shenango baseball very deeply in these playoff runs that you guys had. How key was playoff experience and being an upperclassman? Is that something that's going to be maybe to their disadvantage, or if they don't play a team that's got playoff experience, maybe that'll help them?
Well, but one thing to have playoff experience, it's another thing to have senior leadership in big games. And the bottom line is, when we made our run at Shenango High School in baseball, man, we had some great senior leadership on that team. And Ronnie, I know it's easy to say Kai Cox, he's a sophomore, Marino Graham, he's a freshman, but Quaylen Davis, Travis Wetzel, Mason Cook, DJ Gordon, Chase Lemon, Damian Harrison, those guys are all seniors. And they're all basketball players, so I know what they're all about. That's some good senior leadership. And I think that's even more important than playoff experience, senior leadership. You know, when the pressure gets so high, you can't spit. You got seniors who are laser focused and mentally tough, and that's what gets it done, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We all know there's an advantage to playing at home, to being the home team. At LGKG, we've been your home team personal injury attorneys for auto accident and workers' compensation cases for over 90 years. We know what works and how to win. We have all the credentials. At LGKG, we don't take every case. We handpick our clients so that we can give you the attention you deserve.